Alright guys, time to talk about the Master Set players for the Clutch Moments event. We're going to go through a tier list like we always do. Again, I want to reiterate that these are going to be based on context. A lot of these cards, they're going to be better for some. That's why I don't think, or why I don't do my rankings 1 through however many, because it's going to be different for pretty much everyone. We also have to talk about Team of the Season. So, in all honesty, if you are trying to min-max and you really care about getting as much value as possible, you should probably not invest in any of these Clutch Moments cards and save for Team of the Season, as it looks like it'll come this Friday. We'll get our first iteration, potentially a Young Guns, or maybe one more week, but Team of the Season is coming, and it is going to be a very expensive event, much like Team of the Year and the Fantasy Hockey event. So, in all honesty, all of these cards are replaceable. However, there are a few gems, especially in Week 2, so let's go over them. Now, guys, if you want to see my tier list for Week 1, you can go back and take a look at that video, but I'll just highlight it real quick. In terms of all of the Week 1 MSPs, the only one that I think has the potential to be an S tier or an S tier card, and that is John Tavares. Okay, so what I mean by an S tier card is that it is one that I think that you should make and not miss out on. A tier would be extremely good. B tier, obviously someone you can avoid, and so on and so forth. John Tavares, the reason why I think that he is potentially an S tier card in the context if you do not have Bobby Holik or Team of the Year Austin Matthews. If you have both of them or even one of them, you're spending a significant amount of resources on a second line center essentially, but this card has everything that you really want in a centerman. He's got gold quick draw. A lot of people, you know, there are people out there that don't have any value in quick draw. That's fine. He's got silver unstoppable force and close quarters, which is a fantastic superstar ability in the late stages of the game. He's 6'1", 219 or 216, 99 faceoffs, 95 speed and acceleration with a max shot. I've used him on my no money spent team. He's been fantastic, but if you do have Holik and Matthews, I think he's in the A tier. If you don't, I think you can go ahead and make John Tavares. But let's touch on the Week 2 MSPs. We'll start in the B tier with the 95 BRIANNE. Now, this card has probably the best set of abilities that you could have on a card, but it's the same issue in terms of how she's going to play that a lot of the other female cards have, you know, struggled with, and that's just simply that they're 5'9", 157. Until EA figures out a way to have a build system implemented where smaller players are viable later on in the game, especially against the higher division players, it really is going to be difficult to justify spending almost 500,000 coins on a card that is going to get thrown around, even with gold unstoppable force. However, like I said, if you wanted to have a female card on your team, this BRIANNE card is one of, if not the best in the game right now because of this ability combo. But if you're not going to have any of the abilities on her, it's going to be very tough to use her card effectively. She's an even smaller version of Danny Briere, and if anyone used his team builder, it was tough to use him. And again, as the game goes along, the bigger players get higher speed and skating, and the smaller players really lose their advantage. So BRIANNE's card is in the B tier. All right, and then on to the A tier. We've got the 95 BURAKOVSKY, and this is a fantastic card. Is a pure left-handed winger. There are a lot of those, however, and again, a fantastic card that you could go out and get. So he can have 95 speed with buzzing, or you can go with 96 acceleration, 94 speed. Either option is very good. He's got a body checking synergy in that middle slot, and then combine that with booming shot, which is one of the better ones as well. You're going to have a very, very good, well-rounded card. Gold wheels is not something that I would activate. I just don't think it's worth the cost, but elite edges and close quarters on someone who's 6'3", 209, that's a fantastic ability here combo for this size and skating and shot for this card. The only knock on BURAKOVSKY and why I don't think he's in the S tier is because, again, there's going to be a lot of Team of the Season options, but we just had the trade deadline Anthony Mantha, and that card has been fantastic, and you don't have to have any abilities activated for that card to be fantastic. Just like BURAKOVSKY, though, I think that if you don't have any of the left-handed wingers, like you don't have Yager, and maybe you don't have Team of the Year McDavid, and you're using him on the wing, and you don't have Mantha, BURAKOVSKY could be a very, very good option for you, because while Team of the Season's coming out and other MSPs are coming out that are going to have higher skating, being 6'3", 209, like, you can increase size. You know what I'm saying? So, like, other cards that are under 6 foot, even if they have 99 speed, it's not going to have the same advantage as we go along in the game that BURAKOVSKY and Mantha cards are going to give you. So, keep that in mind. I think he's in the A tier. All right, and just like last week, we've got an A/S tier card type, and that's going to start with Jack Hughes. So, I'll explain why I think he is in the S tier first for some people. First of all, he is in the S tier if you are going to make his Team of the Season card. Jack Hughes is going to get a Team of the Season card, whether it be Young Guns or just the North American skater. He's had a fantastic year, and if you want to get his Team of the Season card at a much cheaper rate, you can go out and get this 95 Jack Hughes, and they will have a trade-in where it significantly reduces the cost to get his Team of the Season. And because if Team of the Season works like it has in years past, you will not get to choose which card you are making. Yes, that's right, it's an absolute brutal system, but what EA usually does is they say, hey, make, 40 collectibles that cost you about 500k, and you'll get a choice, one of 3 of all of the Team of the Season cards, and you have a chance to not get someone you want. If you want Jack Hughes' Team of the Season card, this is an S tier card to make, and not only that, he's an extremely good card. At 5'11", 175, very, very small, but he does have unstoppable force, and I've been using Bedard on the right-hand side, which is basically the same kind of card with unstoppable force, and he hasn't been all that bad. There are going to be far better options because he is smaller, but unstoppable force does hold him up a little bit. Again, it will be less and less impactful as we go along, but for people that are looking to make his Team of the Season card 100% an S tier make, I would definitely make him. If not, though, like you don't have a plans to make his Team of the Season card, I would much rather go with Andre Burakovsky, unless you're in the lower division. And then lastly, this is an S tier card of the 95 Marc Staal if you do not have any of the prior defensemen, the left-handed defensemen. There's been so many that have been so good, and in all honesty, when you compare the 95s, 94s, and 93s, Jake Sanderson is still the best value here because his skating is very similar. He's big and he has gold truculence, but if you don't have any of them, Marc Staal is 100% a card that you could have potentially for the rest of the game. Silver truculence is very cheap. He's 94 speed and acceleration. He's 6'4". You can even throw stick him up on him because stick him up increases in value by the size of the player. So someone that has stick him up that's 6'4" and above is way more advantageous than someone with stick him up that's 5'11" because of the extra reach. So again, something to keep in mind. I made this card on my no money spent team on top of John Tavares. I wouldn't recommend blowing all of your resources, but if you need a left-handed defenseman and you haven't made Sanderson, you haven't made Power, Edvinsson, Lindholm, Martinez, make this Marc Staal. He has been fantastic and going to be impactful for the rest of the year. Now, like I mentioned, guys, Team of the Season is coming, and if we're being honest in terms of value, I would just hold off and wait for Team of the Season, but there are cards in this release that are extremely good, and I hope this helps out just a little bit. If you are looking for help on how to make the free MSP by completing all of the objectives fastest, I did make a video about last week in regards to how to do that effectively, and I've done that for this one as well, as my John Tavares will be free very shortly, and again, it is in the shortest amount of time that you can get. So go ahead and take a look at that video if you are looking to upgrade your MSPs, but I hope this helps, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments section down below, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one.